So kind of an odd title. My title is The Foothold of God. And this is kind of different than we normally do, but I just kind of feel led to do this. So if everyone wants to stand, I'm going to go ahead and read the passage that we're going to be going over. Isaiah 40:12 through 15. It says, "Who else has held the oceans in his hand? Who has measured off the heavens with his fingers? Who else knows the weight of the earth, or has weighed the mountains and hills on a scale? Who is able to advise the Spirit of the Lord? Who knows enough to give him advice or teach him? Has the Lord ever needed anyone's advice? Does he need instruction about what is good? Did someone teach him about what is right or show him the path of justice? No, for all the nations of the world are but a drop in the bucket. They are nothing more than dust on the scales. He picks up the whole earth as though it were a grain of sand." And then the next section is chapter 40:25 through 31. It says, "To whom will you compare me? Who is my equal as the Holy One? O Jacob, how can you say the Lord does not see your troubles? O Israel, how can you say God ignores your rights? Have you never heard? Have you never understood? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fail in exhaustion. But those who trust the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow faint." Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pray us in. So Jesus, we just thank you so much for the opportunity to be in your presence, God, just to be able to experience you in a different way. Lord, I just pray right now that you would just soften our hearts, God, to the word that you have prepared for us. And I just pray that our hearts are softened and our ears are open to receive, God. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and be seated. Maybe I'll say the whole thing. In chapter 40, verse 12 through 15, it just kind of talks about like God's wisdom and knowledge. So like when we have knowledge, we know stuff, but when we have wisdom, we can use that knowledge to how we feel that we should. And so kind of like God, he knows like what valleys that we're in a way. Well, not in a way, he actually does. And he can use the knowledge that he has from the valleys that you're in, and he has the wisdom to use those in the future. And so just realizing that God is almighty and powerful, and he can see, or we can see little pixels, like God can see the whole picture. He knows what the picture is going to create. And so just understanding that like what God does is, and what happens, like God has a purpose for it. And then in the second part, 25 and 31, so verse 27, it says of Jacob, "How can you say the Lord does not see your troubles? O Israel, how can you say God ignores your rights?" So just realizing also that like nothing in our life is hidden from God, like, and he's also not going to neglect that or neglect what has happened. And so also in verse 29, it says, "He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless." And so we can receive our power from God and strength from God. And so like, if we're finding strength in, let's say, people or things, like, we can't obtain that strength from God as well. Like, we have to choose one or the other. And also in verse 31, where it talks about finding new strength and just having the strength to move forward and keep going in that race. The next part is, it kind of is a weird thing. It doesn't feel like it fits in with what God says we do. So I named it Maker of the Heavens. So in the beginning of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 1, it says, comfort my people. And so I just want y'all to keep this in mind, like throughout this whole thing, that like God wants to comfort you. The Maker of the Heavens wants to love you, and that's okay. It's okay if he has to break down walls, like he wants to love you. And I have a couple of verses to go with it. So John 14, verse 27 says, "I'm leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart, and the peace I give is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid." The second verse is Psalms 46, verse 1. "God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble." And in Matthew 5, verse 4, "God blesses those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." And so the next slide. This is actually a picture from Germany when we went to the castle. Now, yeah, I didn't walk up that whole thing. I actually took a bus part of the way up, so sorry, Logan and Jill. So yeah, but being at the top, like, one of the things that God has always spoke to me through is like nature, like valleys and skies and mountains and stuff like that. So being up there was like, wow. But also looking in and seeing the dips and stuff, like, it just creates so much detail, and it's like, wow, where the whole thing was just like this land, I would be like, what the heck, you know? And so just realizing that, like, in verse 3, it says, fill the valleys and level the mountains and hills. And so, like, valleys are beautiful. Valleys can create beautiful things. And also, like, they're secluded. And so, like, sometimes we may go through valleys and we feel like, God, I'm lonely. Why am I so lonely right now? But, like, sometimes He needs to take you away from people and things to be able to get you to listen, because we become so distracted in everything else. And also, so in order to get back up, so if you're in a valley and you have to get back up, what do you have to do? Exactly. So you need in order to like get up, back up the mountain, like you have to be sure that you have a strong foothold. So the question I want to give you guys is like, what is your foothold? Now the fun part. Okay. Abby and Quentin, I'm going to get y'all to come up. Colton, if you want to come up fast, that way we can work his head. I'm going to come too, that's fine. Okay, so you can jump to the next slide. Alright, so the foothold of the world. This can signify clothes, like, gosh, I have to have the newest style. Like, look at those sneakers. You know, money, like, I want all of this money so I can go do this, this, and this. The one we all struggle with on the social media. Is that poll, if I ask if I'm pretty enough in this picture, like, is 80% going to say yes, like, or what? And also, another one that I find that I struggle with sometimes is relationships and friendships. So looking for comfort and guidance, sometimes like those things fail. So, this is Quentin's foothold. This symbolizes the world. So Quentin, I'm going to ask you to step on this box. You step up. Push the button. Okay, step on. Okay, so let's say that was closed. Okay? Quentin, try again, but just hold his hand. No, you can't hold his hand. Okay? But Kady, I have clothes and money. Okay? Quentin had Colton and the box, but he still didn't make it. So the foothold of the world is that this cannot take the same amount of pressure as God. Like, this is not going to be able to hold you up, you know? And then we begin to have these trust issues and say, oh, well, this let me down and this let me down. Okay, trust in the Lord. Don't trust in these things, trust in the Lord. Okay? And also, like, using the broken chair analogy, using the broken chair analogy, which I think Kady has used a couple of times, is like, if you sit in a chair and that chair breaks, are you going to sit in that thing again? Okay, well, what if Caleb says, but I made it, like, it's fine, like, I fixed it, I put extra screws in it, are you still going to trust it? So, kind of like with people, okay, when people have changed and they've done that, but like, you still can't put your faith in people or things. And so then that gives us the thing of, we have to heal from things that God was trying to protect us from in the first place. And so we say, yeah, I have trust issues, but like, I can't trust this person either. Okay, well, God was trying to protect you from that. Like, find your foothold in Him before you find it in people. And so sometimes we can just depend on each other too much and put too much pressure on them. Thank you. Okay, and now we have the foothold of God. Okay? So reading your Bible, praying often, staying in community, serving. These are all things that help you stay aligned with the Lord. And so this signifies all of those things. So I can go ahead and set on that. So if we have our foothold in God, like, we're going to be able to get back up to that mountain from that valley because we have a strong foothold. And we know that it's going to hold us up. God is a firm foothold. And the thing about that is like, when you trust Him once, you're going to continue trusting Him. You're just going to be like, okay, God, you had me that one time when I didn't have $5. I know you got me this time. You know, like, you know that the Lord is going to continue to do that, and He's going to continue to be more reliable, and you're going to continue to say, yeah, He's got me. And so, in extreme situations, like, we can see a pull through. Like, our faith expands in those situations when we decide to trust the Lord. And sometimes it may not be what we want to hear, it may not be what we want to see, but like, He's never going to steer you wrong, and He's forever going to be that strong foothold for you to get back up. And so the next one. This is baby me, and senior me. This is my mom. I love that woman to death. And so in December, some of you guys may know, but my mom actually got really sick. And this was when I was in the process of stepping on the leadership. But it's also in the process of support raising for journeying that I felt that the Lord was calling me to. And so I remember sitting in deeper thinking, okay, God, like, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to be able to step onto this and take, like, responsibilities for this? And also, like, being terrified that my mom was going to pass away at any moment. I remember being at leadership retreat and being like, oh gosh, like, I'm in the middle of nowhere with no service. What's going to happen if someone calls me and says, hey, Kady, like, you need to come home? And so in that moment, like, it was terrifying. But, like, don't fear your valleys, because God's got you. And so, also in that process, like, I lost my aunt, and everything just kept piling up, and I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. I felt, even though I was in the valley, like, the mountains were on my shoulders. And sometimes it may feel that way. You may feel scared, and you may feel lonely, but, like, it's going to be okay as long as you find your foothold in the Lord. And so, and then don't dismiss your valleys. Don't say, it's fine, it's okay. Like, it's literally fine. You know, like, God wants you to come to Him and say, I'm having a rough day. Like, God, I'm having a tough time. Can you, like, love me a little bit or a lot? And so, like, even in that, you're going to experience things in ways that you've never experienced Him before. Because through that, I was actually working in Conway at that time during break. And I remember standing at the cash register thing, and I was thinking, like, gosh, my mom is sick, and, you know, I'm just anxious, and I need to get home. And I remember this sudden urge hit me, and, like, I felt like the Lord was telling me, Kady, like, get home. Get on that interstate, get through Little Rock, and speed home, like, get there. Okay, maybe He wasn't telling me to speed, but He was telling me to get there. but, like, even through the anxiety of what's going to happen to my mom? Is she going to be okay? Like, I left work. I drove 2 hours. And when I had gotten there, my mom's sugar had dropped to 30. And she was laying there, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Like, she's not responsive. Like, I don't know what to do. But, like, the Lord, through my anxiety, through me saying, God, I'm not okay, like, He spoke to me and He said, Kady, get home. Because I listened to Him. And so, just remembering that, like, in our valleys, that's when we experience God the most. That's where we experience His comfort the most. And so, what are some common valleys that we face? Valleys of uncertainty. If you don't want me to be a nurse, I don't know what I'm going to be. You know? Valleys of fear. I'm scared that I'm going to do terrible. Me tonight, but, you know, like, I'm scared I'm going to do terrible. Valley of discouragement. I'm not good enough, God. I can't go speak to those people about you. I don't know enough about the Bible, you know? Valleys of loneliness. God, I have nobody right now. I have no one to turn to. I have no one to talk to. I have no one to even say hello to. So those are some of the valleys that we face, but what can we make of those valleys? So valleys are not easy. They require growth and perseverance. So anyone remember growing pains in your legs? Yeah, something that the guys will think of, especially if you work out with Logan, apparently. Okay, so Kady, how are you feeling right now? You're hurting because you're growing your muscles, like you're growing in that, but you're persevering through. And so the more you do that, the more Kady works out, the more she's going to be like, yeah, you know. And then also getting back to the top isn't through our strength. So realizing that, God, I can't get back up to this mountaintop without you. I'm going to continue sliding. In Germany, even going down, I was sliding. Like Alexis even fell on her butt. And so realizing that like our strength, it's not us, it's God. And God has to give us that strength for us to continue through. And the verse for that one is Psalm 73:26. My health may fail and my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever. Continuing the question of what can we make of our valleys. So, greener grass. God, that grass over there, her grass is green. I want that grass. My grass looks a little burnt right now, you know? And so, realizing that, like, the grass may be greener on the other side, but the grass is always going to be greener where you water it. So, water your grass. And the second question is, what's your focus? You know, sometimes we can get this perspective of, God, why me? Why are you doing this to me right now? I've got a test tomorrow. Why are you doing this to me? Why do I have to go to the hospital right now when I'm hurting? You know? And so realizing that, like, if we take that perspective and we say, okay, God, where do you want me to use this in my life? God, how do you want me to use this to minister to other people in the future? Right now, I wouldn't change a single thing I went through. I wouldn't change a single toxic relationship that I've been through, because now I'm able to speak to people and I'm able to speak life into that and say, you know, I understand where you're at is really tough, but like you're going to get through. And so realizing that like if we don't have our valleys, there's no way that we're going to be able to relate to other people around us. So another question we often face is, where is God in my valley? And the answer is, He is with you. I have to distracted this morning. Do not harm. You're not saying it. Okay. Alright, well, that book, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. And so, sometimes, like, I've even experienced of saying this, that I don't feel God right now. I don't feel Him when I wake up. I don't feel Him when I look around. Like, I don't see God in anything right now. And so, in Matthew 14:27, it says, but Jesus spoke to them at once. Don't be afraid, he said. Take courage, I am here. So Jesus was on the mountain praying, but he was on his way to them. They didn't feel him, they didn't see him in anything, but he was on his way. And so being patient and faithful and saying, okay, God, I don't feel you right now, but I'm going to praise you in the storm. God, I don't feel you right now, but I'm going to read my Bible. God, I really don't feel you right now, but I'm still going to pray and I'm still going to have faith that you're going to bring me through this, that you're going to bring someone else through this. And so you may not feel him immediately, but he is there. It says in Isaiah 41:2, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. And so we can take comfort that even when we don't feel God, that he's still looking out for us. Even when we don't feel God, maybe our alarms went off late and we didn't make it to class, but God saved you from something else that was going to happen. And so why should I make God my foothold? When we allow God to be our foothold, we will soar and we will not grow weary or faint, and he will give us rest. When people or worldly things are our footholds, they're going to fail us. We're going to slip through the cracks again. We're going to tumble down the mountain. And we're not going to be able to get back up to the top. Because people, no matter how much we love them, like I said earlier, like people can't take that pressure because we break. And so in Psalms 118:8, it says, it is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in people. So God is unfailing, and like I said earlier as well, like he can see the larger picture. He knows what's best because he doesn't see pixels and small pieces like we do. So some final thoughts about this is your foothold cannot be found in a person, possession, profession, money, anything like that. It has to be found in God. And so, if some of y'all are saying, okay, I feel like I find strength and value in other things and other people, Psalm 40, verse 1-5 says, I waited patiently for the Lord to help me. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me up out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on solid ground and steadied me as I walked along. He has given me a new song to sing, a hymn of praise to our God. Many people will see what he has done and be amazed. They will put their trust in the Lord. Oh, the joys of those who trust the Lord, who have no confidence in the proud or in those who worship idols. But Lord my God, you have performed many wonders for us. Your plans for us are too numerous to list. You have no equal. If I tried to recite all of your wonderful deeds, I would never come to the end of them. And so, God is there to help you. God is there to guide you back to him. Kind of like when the shepherd leaves the 99 to go after that one. Like God's always going to say, no, Savannah's missing from my kingdom. Where'd she go? And so we can also we can't fix our valleys without him. Because when he's our strong foothold, we know that we're always going to get back up to the top. We know that he's reliable. We know that he's going to continue to help us persevere through difficult times. And so for prayer, just kind of the past couple of weeks during worship and stuff, I've just been feeling the Holy Spirit be and just knock me to my knees. Just say, get down, And so that may be some of y'all right now is thinking, I'm facing a valley right now, and my foothold is something other than God. I can't get back up to the mountaintop. Or maybe I'm facing a valley right now, and I don't feel the Lord. And so, if it's possible, just play some soft music. And I just encourage y'all, if y'all are feeling this way, come up to the front and kneel and be like, God, I need you. I know I need you. I know that I'm finding my strength in other things, but they keep failing me. They're not doing what you can do for me because God has no equal.